senang
Selamat
sekali
pagi
Pak
Bapak Ibu.
Bambang.
Kami sudah
Oke,
siang
Bu.
ini.
Oh iya ya, di Merauke. Oh, di Merauke ini sama dengan di Jepang, Pak. 2 jam sebelumnya. Iya. Pak Anton Tovan mana nih wajahnya?
Aduh, ada nih.
Gak ada. Wah. Kita nggak bisa lihat dong. Oke, Mbak Hastia Far. Mbak atau Mas atau siapa ini Mbak Hastia? Oke. Iya. Kita akan mulai pukul 10 ya. Ini sebetulnya sudah pukul 10 ya. Apa kabar Pak Hendi?
Halo Pak Lintu, apa kabar? Baik.
Iya, baik. Ini Pak Marudut ya. Pak Marudut Lumbang. Iya. Oke, apa kabar Pak? Oh, masih di mute ya, jadi nggak kelihatan kedengaran ya. Oke, baik. Ada Mbak Linda Feli. Selamat pagi Bu Maria Susan. Oke.
Pagi.
Iya, selamat pagi Pak Sutikno Joyo. Selamat pagi Bu Santi.
Selamat pagi.
Oke, selamat pagi Bu Ani. Mbak Ani ya. Oke. Wah, banyak sekali nih yang sudah bergabung. Selamat pagi Pak Tek. Iya. Pak Widyo Lesmono. Oh, selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi teman-teman.
Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi Bapak Ibu.
Wow.
Halo Bu Laksmi, pagi.
Selamat pagi.
Ini saya ingin menyapa Mas Widyo Lesmono ini dari Kalimantan ini ya, dari Banjarmasin ya. Mas Widyo Lesmono. Wow. Oke. Hebat ini dari Merauke ya, sudah siang ya. Ya, Mbak Tiara Ika, selamat pagi. Oh.
Selamat pagi.
Oke, selamat pagi, selamat bergabung ya. Oke. Ini ada Mas Noval Arik gitu ya. Mas Noval ini apa kabar? Wah, ini rupa-rupanya saya nggak bisa menyapa satu-satu nih ya, saking banyaknya ya. Bapak Ibu sekalian, pertemuan kita hari ini yang mendaftar sudah 180-an ya, hampir 190. Saya tidak tahu ini masih menambah atau tidak. Kami surprise buat kami karena kami tidak membayangkan bahwa apa yang disajikan oleh GKDI UK Petra ini, Galeri Kajian Desain Universitas Kristen Petra ini, saya pikir nggak terlalu banyak yang minat. Ya memang ini pembicara kita kali ini cukup unik karena dia orang teknik, tetapi dia sangat mencintai, sangat concern dengan motif-motif lokal di Hokkaido, dan kita akan melihat bagaimana dia menjadikan pola-pola yang sudah langka, sudah jarang itu ke dalam sebuah program komputer. Ya memang buat saya secara pribadi ini agak mudeng gitu ya programnya seperti apa menggunakannya. Tapi sebagian dari teman-teman kita yang hadir di sini juga dari komputer, jadi mungkin nanti akhirnya bisa sharing ya. Oke. Selamat pagi Mas Irwansyah, ini tadi yang pertama kali gitu ya, jam 9 sudah bergabung, harus menunggu di waiting room. Mas Irwansyah, selamat pagi. Oke. Ya, Bu Shirley sudah siap untuk memoderatori acara ini. Nanti secara keseluruhan akan dipandu oleh Bu Shirley De Jong, dosen interior design di Universitas Kristen Petra. Saya senang sekali Bapak Ibu bisa bergabung di sini. Semoga bermanfaat. Dan acara kita akan berlangsung sampai dengan pukul 12.00. Ini karena materinya cukup banyak sekali, kemungkinan kita memang akan presentasi cukup panjang. Jadi karena di awal-awal pengenalan, tapi di agak-agak setelah pengenalan ini materinya cukup menarik buat kita semua. Ya, Bu Shirley, selamat pagi. Sudah siap?
Ya, terima kasih Pak.
Ya, kalau gitu saya serahkan ke Bu Shirley sepenuhnya sampai dengan pukul 12. Silakan.
Ya, terima kasih Pak Lindu. Selamat pagi Bapak Ibu. Saya akan menyapa Bapak Ibu sekalian sekarang dalam bahasa Indonesia. Tadi Pak Lindu juga sudah menyapa dalam bahasa Indonesia. Cuma karena ini presentasinya oleh Prof Minagawa dari Jepang, ini akan dilaksanakan dalam bahasa Inggris. Habis ini saya akan sampaikan dalam bahasa Inggris. I say hi first to Prof Minagawa. Can you hear me? Hello, Prof Minagawa. Prof Minagawa, just now it's, I can't hear you. Hello. Hai Prof Minagawa.
Kalau dari gambarnya beliaunya baru tidak di tempat.
Tidak di tempat ya?
Iya.
Oke. Mungkin menunggu kali ya Pak Lindu, gimana?
Ya.
Mungkin dibacakan dulu kurikulum vitae-nya mungkin Pak Lindu.
Oke. Saya yang akan bacakan, nggak apa-apa deh saya aja.
Oh iya, memang harus Bu moderator, silakan.
Okay, I will read the online seminar rule first. Okay, if you can, first, please join using your name and your institution. So we know who's saying and who's not saying, and I mean how to say hi and etc. Second, I would mute the participant during the presentation. And then please use the chat room if you would like to ask a question to Prof Minagawa, so it won't be interrupted his presentation. Please do not close or log out during this online seminar. And please, during the presentation, please turn off the webcam so it won't distract the presenter. And please, later we will have a live chatting with Prof Minagawa after the presentation. Then you can ask questions concisely, and also you can interact with him. There's a few basic rules for this event. Okay, before we start, we usually start with a prayer first. The prayer will be presented by Mrs. Diana Tamrin. Is it here yet? Diana Tamrin?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay. Hi, Prof Minagawa. The prayer will be presented by Mrs. Diana. Please, Mrs. Diana, time is yours.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to lead this prayer according to the Christian faith. Please pray according to your own religion. Let us pray. Our Father in heaven, we thank you, Lord, for your blessings for us and for giving us good health in the midst of this crisis, Lord. And thank you also for giving us this opportunity to be able to learn something new and exciting. And we are also thankful for the presence of Professor Minagawa, who will share with us his wonderful experiences. May you help us, give us wisdom so that all that will be presented today, we may be able to digest them well, and it will be also useful for us for our future so that we may still be able to be productive in any situation that we face. Thank you, Lord. We surrender this seminar into your hands alone. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mrs. Diana, for the prayer, beautiful prayer for this morning. Okay, before Prof. Minagawa start his presentation, I would like to address his curriculum vitae first. So this Prof. Minagawa is a professor in Sapporo Gakuin University. He's from the University of Faculty of Law and Department of Law. Okay. He received Doctor of Engineering degree from Hokkaido University. And for these 10 years, his research interest has been in digital archive, which aim at recording, storing, and publishing our Japanese history, culture, activity, and etc. He is a member of Japan Society of Digital Archive and has been presenting his research work at research meeting. He has been working with digital archive of folk material in Hokkaido, which is located at northernmost part of Japan. He is now studying cultural tourism through digital archive. Okay, so most of his research field will be the educational technology, library, and information science, humanistic, social informatics. And his affiliation or association membership, there are Sapporo Gakuin University, Faculty of Law, Department of Law, Japan Society of Educational Information, Japanese Society for Information and System in Education, Community for Innovation of Education and Learning through Computer and Communication Network, Japan Society of Digital Archive. Few of his research background, most of them is about utilizing archive digital data. The latest one is utilizing archive digital data of traditional Ainu clothes. Maybe later will be presented by Prof. Minagawa by himself. Okay, last but not least, his educational and background. He's finished his he finished first at 1981 at Hokkaido University Faculty of Engineering. Okay, then he continued in the graduate school division of engineering in 1986. So that's a brief introduction about who is Prof. Minagawa. Hello, Prof. Minagawa, can you hear my voice?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, are you ready to start this online seminar?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, the time is yours, Prof. Minagawa. Please just share your screen. Thank you.
Thank you for your very kind introductions. Today's topic. Can you hear me? Okay.
Okay, I can hear you.
Okay. Today's topic is archived digital data for historical and traditional patterns. My affiliation is, as in the introduction, Sapporo Gakuin University. Okay, let's get started. And first of all, I would like to thank Professor Lintu Tristan Toro, correct? And Professor Charlie Dillon for giving me this. Thank you for this for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much. Short introduction of myself. Sapporo Gakuin University is located in Hokkaido, Japan. So here in the blue circle, this is Hokkaido, Japan, in the northmost area of Japan. And so below here, blue circle, this is the Surabaya, correct? Okay, Hokkaido, 150 years have passed since the land was named Hokkaido, and this is the youngest area. The Ainu people lived this land before this. The distance between west end to east end is about 500 kilometers, and north end to south end is about 400 kilometers. This is the second largest island. The number of cities, towns, and villages is 179. The largest number of municipalities. So the Hokkaido has the largest area compared with other municipalities. This is the school building of our campus. I'd like to show you some pictures. I took these pictures in Hokkaido. Winter, mountains are covered with snow. Summer, field of sunflower. This shows snow festival. The photo on your left is snow sculptures, and on your right, decorative illuminations. So the photo on your left, this sculpture is made from snow, made of snow. Every year in July, many tourists visit us, but this year, unfortunately, there are limitations to tourists. On the right, sunset at the seaside. Probably you can see similar scene in Indonesia. On the right, night mountain view at the port. As in the introduction, my academic background is engineering, and my research concern is to preserve cultural historical heritage in digital form and utilize the data. The topic is related to cultural studies with respect to digital archive of local culture and history. About the presentation title, I'd like to tell you the relation between the title and today's topic. Historical and traditional pattern. In this presentation means embroidery pattern of the Ainu people. The Ainu people are indigenous to northernmost areas of Japan. Their culture and history are preserved mainly Hokkaido area. So they lived in Hokkaido more than 15 years ago. So around 15 years ago, many people moved from other island to Hokkaido and try to find a new land, and they started agriculture, they started fishing, etc., etc. The traditional clothes of the Ainu people have characteristic geometric patterns, extend in 3 dimensions throughout the clothes. This is the interesting point. for me. So I started the study about this clothes. First, see what the iron clothes look like. I guess most of you have not seen the iron clothes before. Usually, we can see the clothes at museums in Hokkaido. And is it okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. It's
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Some large museum in other areas. This picture was taken in a museum in Osaka, and show you some examples of the iron clothes. Yeah, you see these white lines, these embroideries. And two more examples. You can see the differences and similarities of the embroidery patterns. This is the result of tracing using the image data. I will tell details about this later. The clothes have complicated and beautiful geometric patterns of embroidery. And surprisingly, the Ainu people measure the size of pattern using their fingers, not scales. No templates, written handbooks. They learn pattern from the life in their childhood. Why this archive? Let's tell you the motivation to study. As shown you here, the clothes have beautiful geometric patterns of embroidery. However, it is difficult to observe and understand the characteristic patterns in detail from viewing the display under limited conditions in the museums or browsing low resolution and small size images on the websites. The same can be said for images of various printed publications. For most people, the chance of seeing the iron clothes is found in museums or websites or in printed publications. So in these media, we cannot see the details of the clothes and embroideries. So the solution proposed here, by utilizing archived images, we make and publish accessible materials for many non-professional people. This shows digital data creation process I considered, but this is too specific. I will show you partly later. tracing the embroidery pattern. So after getting a digital image of the clothes, we trace the embroidery pattern, such as shown here. Here's the image, and by tracing, we get line drawing vector data. So this means converting bitmap data into vector data. In the case of iron clothes, we need to consider two patterns: the kirifuse pattern and embroidery pattern. A kirifuse pattern, black part in this picture, a small linear cloth arranged horizontally and vertically on cloth's body. An embroidery pattern, white line, a pattern on the kirifuse pattern with the thread. So by seeing this picture, we can see the patterns, more patterns. So here the problem is how to trace the complex pattern. We need a strategy for tracing. Can you find a way to trace this pattern at a glance? Probably it may be difficult. We need to think of how to do it. In my study, I assumed two patterns, and according to that, extracted the patterns, the two different types of patterns. One is a basic embroidery pattern, and the other is overall embroidery pattern. First, basic embroidery pattern, element extraction. There in iron clothes embroideries, there are some named typical patterns. I'd like to show you two of those. On your left, I-ush pattern. On your right, Utasa pattern. So these two and the patterns and combined and constitute overall patterns. And when we handle complex combined basic patterns, the extraction process is not simple. We need to apply extended rules to extract mutually connected pattern elements. This is the one example of those extended rules. Just compare the pictures on your left and right. We cannot find patterns exactly matches So we need to find extended rules as shown here. So in this case, pattern being B is applied to the area at the corner of the picture. Deform the lines at the corner. Second, overall embroidery pattern extraction. To complete the tracing of overall patterns, we need a strategy to do that. So here, the tracing method adopts basic pattern of needle movement to sew. Embroidery is the one-stroke sewing method. As shown here, this is the small embroidery pattern, and in this case, starting from point close to A and go to the left, following the blue arrow line, and goes up and goes down, and then go to the left end and comes back to the point B and goes down and up and etc. And then finally come back to the end point. So in this method, the needle does not change the direction of movement, and as the result, thread crosses with each other. In this picture, the threads are crossed at point A and B. This is the result. By this method, two patterns, Ayush and Utasa pattern. These patterns are extracted. Two types of basic patterns can be extracted from the same example. So you see the at some part the lines are overlapped. Next, I'd like to tell you about digital data creation process. This means visualization using bitmap or vector data. Tracing of the pattern is to tracing the pattern, Adobe Illustrator is used. I think many of you are already familiar with this software. This is the result of the tracing. The photo is, this is a photo of apron on the right. By tracing, Ayush pattern is extracted. And this is that shows the extracted overall pattern according to the rules of one-stroke sewing. In this picture, you can see the dot line and solid line. So you see there, by seeing this dotted line, you can follow how the stitching process is going on. For example, from left top, starting from left top and comes down to the center and goes to the right bottom, and then move to the center bottom and goes up to the left bottom and goes up to the right upward. This is the result of tracing for entire clothes. So by using the one-stroke sewing method, the several one-stroke stitching patterns were extracted. Next, I'd like to tell you about visualization for easier understanding of the embroidery patterns. As I told you before, it is difficult to understand, recognize the embroidery pattern of this at a glance. However, after the patterns are extracted, we can easily recognize and understand the patterns as shown here on the top. This shows upper back part, and on the left, lower back to front left, and on the right, lower back to front right. You cannot find this pattern just by seeing these images, these images. So by doing these, complex patterns are easily recognizable. So by just following the lines, we can see how these lines are drawn. So using this result, we can make 3D images as shown here. Figure A is the original data, and by using this, 3D images are made as shown here. Images are shown here, figure B, C, and D. So after making the 3D image data, we can rotate and change the viewing directions. So it helps understand the pattern of the embroidery. So next, I'd like to explain about extraction and the use of the numerical data from the tracing results. As I told you, we trace the pattern using the Adobe Illustrator, and as you already know, this software uses Bezier curve to draw lines. So we usually specify these 4 points to draw a line. 2 anchor points and 2 direction points. So given these 4 points, one part of the Verzey curve is drawn. So if we get these 4 coordinates of these points, we can draw Verzey curve by a computer program. Extracted coordinates of direction points and anchor points are used to draw Verzey curve. The picture on the left is drawn by using Verzey curve. The number of points used for this drawing is 481. You can draw by using Illustrator, and also you can draw using Verzey curve. In this case, when we use a Verzey curve, stored data is coordinate values, which means that image data is converted to numerical data. So advantage of this method is data size is small, because as you know, image data requires image data becomes bigger, but in case of numerical data, we don't need such big we don't need such big data. So, and also another advantage is easy to do step-by-step animation, because we have coordinates. So we can specify which that part of we can specify which part we draw. From first from this point to this point, second this point to this point, third this point to this point. So by doing this, we can show animation. And another approach, making a 3D paper craft model. Advantage of this approach is this is easier and less expensive way to visualize 3-dimensional embroidery patterns. We need 3D software, just we need a paper. The hint is given from this book. This book was given by the local museum. As shown here, Shin Hidaka Museum. This is the Hokkaido map. So in Hokkaido, there are some big museums where we can see iron clothes. Asahika, Municipal Museum. And the museum, this is the largest. Hakodate Municipal Museum, Kushiro Municipal Museum. And this time, I got this book from this local museum. If you have a chance to visit Hokkaido and have opportunity to visit this museum, you can see the iron clothes. In this book, development view is the development view drawn by hand is shown on your right. This is the original image, and this is on your left. This is the drawn development view drawn by hand. So by following this picture, you can make the same pattern as shown on your right. The reason why I took this approach was I thought that embroidery patterns are stretching in 3 dimensions. We usually see 2-dimensional images, but real patterns are stretching in 3 dimensions, such as shown here. By seeing the oblique view, you can see that the pattern is stretching from back to front, top to bottom, etc., etc. And so first I made a paper craft model from handwritten development view, and the result is shown here. So if we can make the same development view, we can also make a paper craft model in the same way. So, and if we have a paper craft model, we can closely look at it and touch it. And do the same thing using image data. This is the image for tracing work. We need to add extra images to draw correct lines. Usually, the pictures are taken from front and back, and just by connecting these two, we will find some distorted parts, such as shown here in on the center part, yellow line. So to correct this, we need an extra image. We need to add a side view image here. So this shows the development view using the image data. And this is the obtained paper craft model using the development view. As I told before, this paper craft model can be touched by hand and observed from different angles. You don't need a 3D CG software. Just we need the pattern, picture, and the paper. This paper craft model can be used as a teaching material in classrooms to learn local traditional cultures. students can explain the single stroke method by using this model, and also students can add colors to the model. So what was done here is a method of taking and utilizing digital images of traditional clothes of the Ainu people was proposed. The patterns on the digital image were traced according to the traditional needle movement method, and the characteristic one-stroke pattern of the clothes was extracted. And second, the pattern was displayed a three-dimensional image of the embroidery pattern. By using the vesicle, needle movement in the sewing process was drawn. A paper craft model from the development view drawing was created. So I'd like to finish the topic about the iron clothes and embroidery. So if you are interested in, I'd like to introduce my related works of digital archive. One is School History Archive, and the second is Surveying and Recording Folk Materials in Digital Form. So may I continue the talk?
Yes,
is it
please.
okay?
Yes, it's okay. Yes, please.
SGU Digital Archive. SGU stands for the name of our university. And our university was founded in 1946. And this house was built commemorating 50th anniversary. Now the house is used as exhibition room of donated items by graduates. You see some panels, clocks, rugs, books, etc. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with this record. Also, we have musical scores, records, and cassette tapes of school songs. This shows films of commemorative events of our university. We have now digitizing these films because we don't digitize these films now. We may lose the records in the tapes. This shows publications in 1940s. So if we don't preserve these books here, this kind of books will be lost completely. The objective, our digital archive system was developed intended to send past and current history information of university to enrolled students and graduates, and digitalizing the donated items and storing them for future use. We may have other commemorative. We will have other commemorative events. So we need to record. We need to keep these records. This shows a top page of the digital archive site. The page menu, publication, history, school song, entry to contents. The site has 4 entries to contents. Since we have changed the name of our school 3 times, graduates can find contents according to their graduation year. Search by keyword is also available because older people are not familiar with search by keywords. Sorry, if you are good at searching, you can find items by inputting keywords. So again, from top, this is the keyword window, publication, history, school song, and entry to each school. School song page, the sound of the songs was digitalized from cassette tapes, analog data. Lyrics and musical scores are available. My graduates told me that sometimes they listen to their school songs. History page, condensed chronological tables with pictures of past presidents and directors. Publication page, PDF version of publications from 1940s are available. Stuart's publications on the site are Alumni Magazine, Guidebooks for Admission, Public Relations Magazine, News about School Life, etc., etc. 21 contents in total. This shows photo contents page. The contents are categorized into 9. By seeing these icons, we can find picture more easier. This shows details of 9 categories: school events, life, facilities, references, publications, club activities, goods of memories, graduate, alumni, support association, staffs. This shows first enrolled students of our school in 1946. So by digitizing and preserving the photos, we can still show this kind of photos to graduates. And unfortunately, the system is closed to outside the school. Because the Google get text from PDF document, and people can search the content by using the extracted text data. Sometimes these are personal data, so it is problematic. So the system is closed to outside the school. And the second topic, surveying folk materials in local museums. This is just ongoing study. Objective is aggregation of information and uses the result for cultural tourism. This picture shows a stove, heating device, burning coals, because the in Hokkaido we have a cold winter, so this kind of thing is necessary. And here I'd like to show some photos taken by visiting about 30 local museums. I have visited these 31 museums and took photos. This shows articles for daily use before electricity. You see the on top left, this is oil lamp. And on the right, you see the coat made of straws. And the top, this shows kitchen in that age. And on the left, you see a spinning wheel. So this kind of articles are preserved at a local museum in Hokkaido. This shows shoes made by rice straw, because in Hokkaido rice is produced. This is articles for daily use. But articles shown here are relatively new compared with the pictures before. This shows agricultural tools. I don't know if you have a similar one or not. This also shows agricultural tools These pictures are from different areas. We can find the same schools and sometimes different tools, depending on the depending on what is produced in those areas. This shows a history of abandoned railway line stations. In Hokkaido, many railway lines have been abandoned, and these items are stored and preserved at local museums. This shows an old tool for planting rice seeds. We are not using this anymore. But in my childhood, I have a memory that this tool was used. This is a threshing machine. Separate grains of rice using a barrel-shaped rotating part. I guess maybe you have similar one in Indonesia. I don't know. This is a wood burning stove. This is made of iron. As I already mentioned, in Hokkaido we have cold winter. We need a stove. So we have a variety of, we have used a variety of stoves in shape, in burned materials, etc. Okay, I'd like to finish my talk. Conclusion of this talk, record now, otherwise we will lose our history forever. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Minagawa. It's really interesting to us. But recap now, otherwise we will lose our history forever. Okay. Now we would like to open. I will stop sharing your screen. Will that be okay, Prof. Minagawa? Okay. Now there's a few questions in the chat room already for you, Professor. Maybe I will ask the person who asked in the chat room, and few of them is raising hand. We can also, the participant can also raising hand if they have a question, would like to interact directly to you. Okay, first of all, I will, the first question. This is from Marudut Luman Batu. Mr. Marudut Mulan Batu, is he here? Or maybe you can ask the question directly to him. It will be more clear. I will unmute if you want to unmute. Okay. Mr. Marudut Luman Batu? Mr. or Mrs.? Okay, maybe I will read the question in the group chat. So he's saying that Indonesian is an archipelago with so many tribes and culture in it, and it's also called Nusantara. How to combine tangible and intangible tradition in culinary based on the ethnology of a tribe or tradition toward to the street of culinary style of the archipelago, which has its own characteristics, so that is become a unique things. Prof. Minagawa, can you hear me? Maybe Mr. Madudut.
Okay.
Are you answering the question?
So, sorry, what's the main point, main question?
Okay, the main question he is asking about to combine the intangible and tangible tradition, basically in culinary traditional food in Indonesia. The tangible is something that you can see. The intangible is something that we cannot see. We try to combine it towards the maybe if Marudut here, please join and ask more directly to you. Wait, I'm looking for him. Oh, he left, I think. I'm sorry, maybe next question is...
He was left.
Yeah, he left. Because I can't find him. Okay, he was left.
Captain Kocak, raise hand.
Okay. Captain Kocak, please unmute yourself. Hello.
Oh.
You left already?
I think no.
No?
Still here. Oh. Oh, left.
I asked to unmute, but
he left.
He left.
More question from
question.
Last Mono.
Okay. Video Last Mono.
Yes.
Okay. If still here, if you can still here, please unmute.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I think my question is so clear, and I hope Mr. Manigawa can you give me a some explanation about my question in this? I think it's so clear. Yeah. I hope that you can explain what kind of software maybe you have maybe to make it easy, make from hard copy or hardware to software. I think the is complicated is because difficult to draw if we don't have any capability to make a drawing line like painting or like this. Yeah, maybe Mr. Manigawa, you have a software or something like this to make it easy. I think this is my question.
Okay. You're asking what software I am using to draw lines.
Yeah.
Name of the software?
Yeah. Maybe you have. Or
yeah.
just using Adobe PDF.
Yeah. That's all.
So manually, you just by hand and then transfer it to digital like this.
Yeah, just using the Illustrator and trace the line by hand.
Yeah, yeah, tracing paper and then transfer to digital. Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
From the image, and then you trace. You draw in the tracing paper and then transfer to digital like this.
Yeah, I don't use a tracing paper.
Yeah,
Just
directly
digital.
direct from the image to
Yes.
become a line. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah.
Terima kasih,
Okay,
Ibu
Mr.
Shirley.
Mas Mono, is it clear enough? So
Yeah.
Prof Minagawa using hand tracing first, and then transfer it using digital using Adobe Illustrator, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
The next question is actually come from Mr. Lintu himself. Mr. Lintu, would you like to unmute yourself? Mr. Lintu? He is asking about nowadays the some of them is I mean the one who makes Ainu clothing should be old already, right? I mean now how to transform and how to make them know this technology. Prof Minagawa?
Excuse me?
Yeah, the question is, Mr. Lindu is asking, most of the one who made the Ainu clothing should be old already, right? Usually made by old people or young people?
Old people, young people?
Yeah, for the one who made the Ainu's clothes.
The clothes I showed here is old one.
Yeah, usually it's, I mean, old one. I mean, there's a gap between, usually old people don't know about technology, right? Now, how you make them, how to make them understand, the old people understand about the technology, especially in, for the Ainu's clothes. I mean, the one who made the Ainu clothes is old people. Then what method you use to make them understand the technology that you use to trace the pattern in the Ainu clothes?
From between other people?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know exactly, but they tell the technology is transferred from in their families. Mother tells the weight of embroidery to their children, and it is that is repeated, I guess.
Okay, so you are saying even though the one who made the Ainu clothes is old people, but it's the tradition, they pass down the tradition to the young one, so it's made it easier to make Ainu's clothes more archive, is it? More, I mean, so it's easier people to understand it because it's transferred to the young person one. Okay. Okay, then maybe there's a Prof. Joseph here. Maybe you would like to say any response regarding this topic, Prof. Joseph? Prof. Joseph? Hello? Hello? Or is there anyone who would like to ask more questions? Okay, I would like asking one question for you, Prof. Minagawa. I mean, just now I learned about how to digital archive it from the cloth. What about the pattern or the relief from a traditional building in Japan? Have you ever done any research regarding digital archiving the relief and pattern from the traditional building?
Building.
Yes, building in Japan is. I understand that Japan also has some traditional.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that Japanese has a relief and a pattern in their buildings. Yeah, how, did you ever digital archive it, or maybe you?
No, I haven't.
No, you haven't.
Relief means that some patterns on the wall or something like that.
Yes, correct.
No, I haven't tried that.
Okay, but if the relief itself is a 3D in 3D, right? Maybe I mean I would like to know if I ask you to do digital archiving in 3D relief in the building, how would you do it?
Okay. Relief is not two-dimensional, three-dimensional. So
yes.
you are
Yeah,
asking
right.
me, how to do it. So have you ever which depends on the digital data? Have you ever tried something?
Most of the relief here is they made from wood and they made from stone. Some of them is with the old generation. I mean, when they built the building, they use the wood. Some of them in the wood, some of them in the stone. Yeah. But all of them in 3D. I mean, I would like to know your opinion about this. Or maybe I can show you the picture of our relief. So maybe it can, you have more ideas in. This is our relief in Candi Borobudur. Now, I mean, the relief itself in the stone. I mean, I would like to know your opinion and your expectation regarding this. How will you do this to digital archive this?
In 3 dimension.
Yes.
One possible way is that using three-dimensional computer graphics software, and measuring the putting the point coordinate data, and then to create a 3D image.
Okay, so we put the point first, then creating the 3D image.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, but what if I want to do this in 2D? Is it will be?
2D.
Can we use your method or?
In 2D. So, what kind of information you want to reserve? Just in case of 2D, just you can take photo, and if just you need two-dimensional data, just trace the outline. But
yeah, if 2D would be tracing the outline.
But in that way, 3D data, 3D information will be lost.
Yeah, the curve and all the thing, the in and out. it will be lost, is it?
Mm.
Okay. Is there any question here? Wait.
Mm.
Okay. Some of them already asking in the chatting group chat. Okay. Wait. This is from Vera. Vera. Is Vera here? Is Vera here?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Would you like to ask directly to Mr. Prof. Minagawa?
Please Bu Shirley saja ya.
Oke, boleh. Nanti saya coba bantu sampaikan ke Prof. Minagawa. Okay. Here she is asking about the tradition of shoeing. That it's still how the tradition of, just now you said that the shoe you use the pattern, understand, and try you use the movement of shoeing pattern to do the for the digital archiving is correct. Yeah. The question from Vera is it still doing this old tradition showing for the Aino cloth? Is it still are they still doing it until now? Or how the young generation try to learn about this showing?
Yeah. I think yeah. I guess I don't have exact information about that, but I think they are following the tradition, I think. And so okay, this, can you see this?
Yes, we can saw that.
Yeah,
we can saw it.
This was made by a woman. The age is 70 or 80.
70?
70 years old.
Already. Okay.
And so I think there are some similarities between all the patterns, and they are following traditions. But in some parts, there may be different parts, because there are, it is said that these patterns are different from area to area.
Okay.
So basic way of keeping the tradition is that in each area, they from mother to their children, tell this way, this method of stitching.
So they just teach it to the young generation, is it? Okay. Bu Vera, is it okay? Apa sudah cukup menjawab?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. The next question from Miss Maria Susana Potire. Would you like to ask directly to Prof. Minagawa? Can you open your mic, please?
Bu Shirley, tolong dibantu.
Okay. She's asking about for the pattern that you have studied here. Is it done to the sheet, not, or is it in clothing? So when you do your research, is it directly in the clothing, or you make it from the sheet first?
Excuse me, directly?
I mean, when you do the research, the pattern study, I mean, first you study the pattern first. Yeah, when you do when you study the pattern, you do it directly in a sheet that into the clothing sheet, not in a 3D cloth, or you just do it in 3D cloth. The pattern.
3D cloth. Oh, sorry. Okay. To make a pattern and 2D, 3D.
Yeah, when you're doing the pattern study, are you doing it in 3D clothing directly? You tracing from the 3D cloth, or are you from a sheet like the one that it's not cloth yet? It's just a sheet, a piece of sheet.
So this is not the direct way.
Not the direct way.
Not direct. So your question that measuring the if I measure the pattern in 3D or not?
Okay.
Is this your question?
Yeah.
So in my case, anyway, we start from measuring 2D.
Okay.
Pattern. Yeah. Usually taking photo from front and back.
Okay.
Okay, and combine the both images.
Okay, so you're doing you're flattening the cloth, then you take the photo the front and the back, and then after that you're doing the 3D modeling, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, Bu Maria Susana, apakah cukup menjawab untuk pertanyaan pertama?
Yeah.
Okay. The second question from her also, if we try to pattern studying using hand, how will be the, sorry, maybe I should ask her first in Indonesia because I'm not clear about what she's asking. Bu Maria Susana, maksudnya gimana pertanyaan kedua ini? Boleh dibantu dalam
Jadi maksud saya gini, kalau tadi kan dikatakan bahwa pengukurannya menggunakan jari. Nah, apakah ada perhitungan tertentu, misalkan setiap sepertiga dari ukuran jari kah, atau dari kain kah, atau dari baju kah, atau mungkin setiap satu jari itu menandakan 1 senti, seperti itu, Bu? Apakah ada ketentuan-ketentuan tertentu gitu? Apakah setiap pakaian itu sama jadinya seperti itu? Penentuan untuk patternnya.
Oke. Ya, saya coba sampaikan ke Prof. Minagawa. Okay, Prof. Minagawa, just now she's asking about your method when you doing measurement for the pattern study. Just now in your presentation, you mentioned it, you using a hand and the finger, is it?
I don't. The old people did that.
Oh, okay. The old people did that, but when you're tracing and making it to digital archive, you didn't use any hand or finger.
Yeah.
Okay. Bu Maria Susan, apakah cukup menjawab? Jadi itu dilakukan ketika orang tradisional aja, jadi pengukurannya menggunakan.
Iya.
Okay.
Nah, measurement-nya maksudnya, jadi pengukurannya itu apa? Ada pengukuran khusus. Jadi mungkin pattern ini ada perhitungan 2 kali, seperti itu, kelipatan dua, seperti itu.
Oke.
Atau memang bisa dalam kayak seperti bagian depan itu satu gambar aja memang, tapi ya udah dari atas sampai bawah, dari bagian dada sampai ke perut ya udah satu motif itu gitu, bukan ada pengulangan lagi. Seperti itu maksud saya, Bu.
Maksudnya pengulangan motif saya kok?
Ya, jadi ada pengulangan lagi. Nah, pengukurannya itu berapa kali begitu? Apakah 1/4 ataukah setengah dari panjang dari dada seperti itu, Bu?
Kalau
untuk patternnya.
kalau sepemahaman saya pengukuran bajunya itu untuk ngukur ukuran bajunya enggak sih?
Ya, makanya itu, apakah patternnya itu ada pattern tertentu, misalkan tiga pengulangan, apakah ada yang cuma satu? Karena kalau saya lihat dari beberapa contohnya itu kok ada 3 macam kalau enggak salah tadi gitu loh. Apakah itu punya pengukuran tertentu begitu?
Okay, I'll try to explain it in English, Miss Susana Maria question. Okay, she's asking about when. Okay, just now you mentioned that the hand and the finger is used to in the traditional to measure the length and the length for the clothes, right? Now, she's asking about if any are you in the old one how they use their hand and their finger to do the pattern to do the pattern. I mean, she's asking, is there any rule or any maybe anything, or maybe just lay, and because she saw that some of the pattern is repetition differently in 3 ways, that's why she's asking it.
So your question is, okay, older people used to measure use the fingers to measure the size of the pattern.
Okay.
So is there any rule? Is there any more some rules?
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Is that your question?
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as I know, they use the finger to repeat the patterns.
Okay. They use their finger. Is there any or they just use finger? No additional rule, like for example for the bottom they will use 5 fingers, something like that. Is there any rule like that, or maybe just because the length of the clothes? Or
yeah, they don't. I think in these days people use these measurement tools, but in as far as I know, in older people just repeat the size, use the size length of the finger, and then repeat it, and so their size, the result depends on the length of each person's finger.
Okay. So the results of the pattern will be depend on each their finger, is it? Yeah. Apakah jawab?
Is this the question? Is this the answer you wanted?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Prof. Makasih Bu Sherly.
Okay. Yeah, she is saying that yes, this is the answers that she's looking for. Okay. The next question from Johnson. She's asking about Johnson di sini?
Di sini, Bu.
Oke, bisa diceritakan dulu pertanyaannya, mungkin saya akan lebih mudah memahami dan menjelaskan ke Prof Minagawa kalau mungkin langsung. Boleh cerita?
Kayak desain digital itu kan jadi lebih kaku, Bu, ya, kayak dibandingkan yang kayak kita kalau ngomong tuh freehand gitu ya. Nah, itu gimana ya cara ngatasinnya gitu ya?
Oke, saya coba sampaikan ke Prof Minagawa ya. Oke.
Yeah,
Minagawa, just now Johnson is asking about, he's saying that usually digital design or virtual design, it's more like straight, and I mean what he's saying because some of the pattern is the repetition will be the same. How to get the pattern will be less straight, I mean, he's saying usually like the kenapa? Prof. Minagawa? Yeah. He's saying
Yes, yes.
how to make it more like, usually hand drawing will be look nicer, more artistic, right? How to make the art side to the digital things. He's asking about that.
How to what?
The artistic side. Because when you do the drawing or hand showing, usually the pattern will be like the pattern usually not like straight the same size, the same pattern, the same I mean when you you understand, when we do like the hand drawing or hand sketching or hand showing, usually when we do that we cannot really repeat it exactly the same. While we doing digital data, mostly the pattern will be repeated exactly the same. He's asking about how we made the one that not really exactly the same in the artistic way. We try to achieve it in the digital way. I mean, when maybe because he saw the Ainos cloth behind you, it's more artistic rather than the one in 3D and the one you make. Maybe I don't know.
The question is how to make a
more artistic
in a digital way.
Yeah, more artistic in digital way.
No, I don't have any idea to give you. But if you use computer, you can combine the basic patterns more easily. So as I think as you told me, basically the total overall pattern is a repetition of basic patterns. So if you use computer software or some kind of drawing software, you just make a simple basic pattern and combine them and make a total pattern. And so I don't know if it's if you can make an artistic result or not. It depends on your imagination or idea, I guess.
Okay. Johnson, cukup menjawabkah? Bisa di Johnson?
Ya Bu, cukup Bu.
Okay. He say enough. Okay. Sama-sama. Okay. The next question is from Amalia Paramita. Okay. She's asking regarding, is Amalia is here?
Yes.
Okay.
Ya, Kak.
Boleh disampaikan lebih detail pertanyaannya, mungkin akan lebih mudah dibantu translate-kannya. Ini maksudnya pattern history dan hasil kreativitas, ini maksudnya gimana ya?
Tadi kan dijelaskan tentang terbentuknya sebuah pattern dari historical itu kan Kak, sejarah kayak gitu.
Oke.
Nah, bagaimana cara membedakan sebuah pattern itu terbentuk dari historical atau sejarah atau spontan saja Kak, seperti ide-ide biasa aja kayak gitu?
Oke, saya coba sampaikan.
Ya, terima kasih,
Prof. Minagawa, Amalia is asking regarding the pattern that you digital archive it is usually based on the historical and traditional pattern, is it?
No.
Yeah, how you know whether this is the pattern from historical or whether this is a creativity or new person design? How you know the difference?
I don't have enough data of traditional patterns. Okay. So I can not easily tell you which one is new and which one is old. But anyway, one thing I can tell you that just at a glance we can see it. We can recognize it. Oh, this is the pattern of Ainu people. There must be basic rules. And so some some people uses some new make new changes.
Oke. Amalia cukup menjawabkah? Jadi kalau misalnya tradisional pattern biasanya ada rules, ada aturan. Sedangkan kalau misalnya yang baru atau apa namanya yang hasil kreativitas biasanya tidak berdasarkan rules ini. Amalia?
Ya, cukup. Makasih, Kak.
Okay. Just now from Jasmine Amanda. Yeah, he's raising hand. Could you unmute and maybe directly asking Prof Minagawa?
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon, Professor. I would like to ask about in Indonesia itself. We have so many historical heritages, but there are so many of them that are destroyed and deformed. So we don't actually know how does it shapes like. Does a destroyed historical heritages is possibly archived? Or maybe does it need to be fixed first, then you could archive that?
I'm not really clear also to Jasmine mungkin.
Apa aku terangin ke Ibu dulu aja ya?
Ya, mungkin saya akan boleh bantu jawab, translatekan ke Prof Minagawa.
Jadi kan di Indonesia sendiri itu sebenarnya banyak banget peninggalan sejarah ya Bu ya. Cuma banyak sekali dari peninggalan sejarah yang ada di Indonesia itu banyak yang hancur dan bahkan sampai tidak berbentuk.
Ya.
Nah, kalau misalnya sampai di tahap rusak dan tidak berbentuk itu apakah possible untuk di-archive atau itu harus di apa sih semacam dipoles dulu baru bisa di-archive?
Oke. Saya akan tanyakan ke Prof Minagawa. Oke. Prof Minagawa, just now Jasmine is asking regarding some of the, she's saying that some of the pattern or relief in Indonesia, or if you want the clothing pattern, some of them is already damaged. How you revitalize it? So is there any method you use or that to revitalize if you want to digital archive this the broken pattern, how you do that?
So your question is how to
revitalize it, or maybe
fix the
fix
part.
Yeah.
So my question is, I don't know, but in that case, old record is very important. So anyway,
usually like the pattern, I mean, just now when I show you the pattern in Candi Borobudur, if I want to do it in 3D, some of them is already damaged, or like the head is gone, something like that. I mean, she's asking how we fix it if we want to do the digital archiving.
So how? Sorry.
I mean, how will you do it if you want to do a digital archiving for the this digital archiving will be fixing the pattern of the old the broken pattern.
But by digital archive, I think have nothing to do with it, because just to repair the broken pattern. Anyway, we need the pattern before it was broken. So just from now, if you have patterns, it's not broken. You just take photos and record it and preserve it, and so use it for later. For example, in Japan we have disasters, but to fix their broken some sort of things, we look for all the records and know what the original what's original shape or pattern or something like that.
Okay.
So,
apakah cukup menjawab, Bu Jasmine? Jadi harus dicari tahu dulu ini pola-polanya yang rusak bagaimana, karena kalau nggak bisa langsung di archiving, di digital archiving. Cukup menjawab kah?
Cukup. Terima kasih, Bu. Thank you so much, Professor.
Okay. Okay. The next question from Mr. Widyolas Mono. Would you like to ask directly to Prof. Minagawa? He is asking about the museum. Maybe just now
Yeah, I think my question is clear. Yeah, is state it mean government. So in Indonesia there is no many museum. How the museum in Japan was built by government or individual? And do you have any ideas or to realize the museum in Indonesia, Mr. Minagawa? It's difficult.
What sort of idea he's asking? Sorry.
Oh no, maybe first question is museum in Japan is built by government or by personal fund?
This one, yeah.
Yeah, which one?
This one?
Yeah.
No, he's asking about the museum. Just now you showed us about your research regarding the fog in the museums.
Funding from government or by personal?
So you're asking that museums are run by government or personal?
Yeah, in Japan.
In most cases, their museums are run by government and local municipal offices. I think, I think some museums are owned by, run by a person, but the number of the museums is, I think, sorry. I think a private museum, the number of private museums is very small, I think.
Okay, more private museum in Japan, is it?
Sorry?
Oh, Mr. Widyo?
Yeah, it means museum in Japan built by government, yeah. So maybe, we don't have enough money to build museum in Indonesia. I think. Thank you, Mr. Minagawa, for your response.
Thank you.
Apakah cukup menjawab, Pak?
Iya, sudah saya kira.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Widyo. Wow, we are looking at the time. It's already 11:55 in Indonesia time. I will open one more question. If there any participant would like to asking last question to Prof. Minagawa. Okay. Is there any more question? Okay. If not, then I will close this online seminar. thank you, Prof. Minagawa, for attending with us. And maybe we want to say hi to Prof. Minagawa also can. Okay. Later there will be a e-certificate that I will send to the email based on the participant that is stay in this Zoom seminar, this online seminar. The e-certificate will be sent directly to your email maybe within this week. Okay. I think that's all. Thank you, Prof. Minagawa. Thank you all for participating in this event. Okay. If you would like to say ya, Pak Lindu?
Ya, kenapa Bu?
Oke, mungkin penutup dari Pak Lindu karena.
Okay, yeah, thank you for Prof. Minagawa. Amazing for me your presentation, and terima kasih untuk semua yang sudah hadir di sini dan bergabung dengan kita. Semoga ini semua bermanfaat buat kita dan tunggu ya ada sesi-sesi berikutnya yang pasti akan sangat menarik buat kita semuanya. Terima kasih. Bu Shirley bisa difoto gitu, di capture untuk masing-masing slide-nya supaya ada dokumentasi buat kita semua.
Oke.
Bapak Ibu disilakan videonya
dulunya.
dinyalakan semuanya supaya kita bisa mendokumentasi begitu.
Ini akan ada beberapa sesi karena cukup banyak ya. Oke.
Ya. Bu Jasmine, Yunita Chris, Bu Poppy, Bu Amalia bisa dinyalakan? Iya.
Yunita, Bu Amalia. Ini belum semuanya dinyalakan.
Iya.
Mahasiswa juga tolong dinyalakan.
Oke.
Pak Priyo, halo Pak Priyo, baru kelihatan.
Ya, mahasiswa mungkin bisa dinyalakan semuanya biar kita bisa dokumentasi. Oke.
Oke.
Ya, Bu.
Masih belum semuanya ya. Sebentar.
Ya.
Udah. Ini akan ada beberapa sesi, jadi akan berapa kali siap-siap ya Bapak Ibu.
Ya.
Ya. 1, 2, 3.
Oke, 1.
Masih 1. Harus di-save dulu.
Ya.
Oke, bentar. Berikutnya. Oke, 1, 2, 3 yang berikutnya. Oke, yang berikutnya. Oke, yang berikutnya yang ketiga. 1, 2, 3. Oke, yang keempat. Ini tadi kita ada 5 slide-nya. Oke, 1, 2, 3. Yang terakhir. 1, 2, 3. Oke, Pak Lintu, sudah.
Oke. Ya, terima kasih sekali lagi yang mau live silahkan. Profesor Minagawa still stay here with Bu Shirley and me. Okay.
Don't
Yeah.
leave us.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Mbak Anggri, terima kasih.
Sama-sama Pak Pintu.
Ya, sama-sama Mbak.
Terima kasih Bu Anggri.
Sama-sama Mbak Shirley, Laksmi.
Ya.
Sampai ketemu event berikutnya ya Mbak Anggri. Terima kasih.